You are listening to the Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John. Yeah, right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, the Tipping Point Show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, it is another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show. My peoples out there, I want to say what's up to you. It is your boy, Mr. Just As Joe, as well as Mr. the amazing, the esoteric, Mr. Abibi Toomey Trading himself, brother John Yah. How you doing there, family?
I'm great, brother. Peace, man. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. I know that I know sometimes I probably I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, he's probably sitting there like, man, I don't know what Joe was on this morning, but he need to chill with them intros.
No, I love it. I love it.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Hey, man, just appreciate you being here with me today, man. We got a fantastic show, man. But first, I just want to say, what's up, man? How you doing? How was your week?
Man, it was great. It was can't complain. I won't complain, as a matter of fact. But it's been an awesome week, awesome sales. The weather's been nice for me. So, how about yourself?
Oh man, it was great. Actually, I had a really good week of trading. You know, I will admit, because I'm part of, maybe a little bit part of this microwave society where I want it now. And good, man. It was all so. It's been a fantastic week. With that, I finally got Geico to take care of me when it comes to my car. Y'all remember I had a car crash July 1st, and the Beamer,
Yes.
the Batmobile was totaled. So we but got paid out from that. Geico took care of their business like they're supposed to, and everything is all good, man. And we moving forward. So I'm loving it right now. So it was a great week. Absolutely.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So good, good. So I want to let everybody know just the same. You can always hit us up on WLOUonline.com. You can see us there. You also can check us out on YouTube at the Tipping Point Show or the Tipping Point Morning Show. As a matter of fact, if you put hashtag the Tipping Point Morning Show in YouTube search, you will find us right away, right? You can click and go to our page and check out past content, and you'll be able to find us right away. But with that being said, then you also can check us out on Instagram as well. So we're working on going live there also, or simultaneously. But that'll be coming soon. But yeah, great week, great week. Hey man, I saw a live video you did this week.
Yeah, man. I did two of them.
Yeah. I saw the one about the Big C part 2. Do you
Yeah.
you want to tell
Yeah.
people about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I called it the And I started feeling better immediately. So I wanted to do the video to express how important it is to maintain your health. If you want to fight off any disease, it ain't got to be COVID. It could be any disease coming your way. There's always going to be a disease coming your way. This is how your immune system builds itself up, is to be able to fight. It's like working out. The more you work out, the stronger you get. The less you work out, the weaker you get. It's just that simple. But the immune system works the same way. The more you eat right and everything, you build your immune system up. But your immune system actually changes every time it attacks something new. So it becomes stronger and better. It's just the way the immune system works, right? So we would not have lived this long if it wasn't for the immune system learning and adapting to different diseases as it go along, right? To build up and get us ready for it. So I knew that, and I just said, well, give it here. I wasn't wearing no mask. I knew my daughter was sick and my grandbaby was sick. And so I said, well, give it to me because I know it's coming next. They don't need me wearing a mask and running. So I ended up getting it and ended up going through my regimen and back to health again. And I would say this, whenever you are a little ill, just a little sick, and you get healthy again, that is a sign that you are doing well. So understand that the body is a chemistry. It knows what it's supposed to do. You just got to know what to feed it, and that's it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think that's important. What amazes me is I would say that a lot of our viewers are people who grew up in the church, right? A lot of our listeners are people who grew up in the church. So what amazes me is the fact that these are people who grew up in the church and will profess the ideology of a God that takes care of them in every way. And I believe in the God force energy that we have the ability to tap into in this universe. But with that being said, these same people are out here just believing everything they hear, listening to everything they hear. They're hypnotized by those white coats, right? They see those white coats, and all of a sudden, hey, I used to sell a product, a machine that helped you blending, high power blender with a company. And there were some times where I would wear scrubs and a long white coat. And I tell you what, I didn't say anything about what that meant. I just wore it during the demonstration. And it was amazing how people's attention changed when it comes to that. They're mesmerized and hypnotized by that long white coat. I know plenty of people, just finished dealing with a friend where her doctor, prescribed a medication for her that would work against the regimen that they were doing for her. And she ended up back in the hospital because of that doctor's stupidity. So of course she's suing them. But with that in mind, people forget they are practicing medicine. That's what it's called. It says it right on their certificate, practicing medicine, right? So they don't know any more than you have the ability to research, right? So if we take some time to research, to just look up some information, then I promise you, you will find plenty of things that will help you along the way on your health journey. Man, anything that you're dealing with, man, in this day and age, you can Google it and you can find out how to fix yourself, because you should be your first doctor. So it's interesting, man, how that works. But people, I don't know what to say about people that will sit there and I mean, people are just blindly running towards. They want to be a part of the lotto, so they're going to get the jab to be a part of the lotto. I mean, you ain't have the best odds of that lotto before the jab, so now you want to run to the jab to be a part of a lottery. Things like that are things that should make people say, hold up, something ain't right. I mean, because I got COVID too last year. And I tell you what, it was so simple as to sit there and do herbal tea before I went to bed, herbal tea when I wake up. Why? Because I needed to drain the mucus. Why? Because they say that COVID has to do with mucus being inflamed in the airways, which makes it hard to breathe. So guess what? Common sense should tell you to get rid of the mucus in your body. But lo and behold, you got Black Lives Matter out there passing out cases of milk in the hood, which milk does nothing but thicken mucus in the body. So essentially just further pushing to kill our people. And then we sitting there scared talking about the numbers in our community with stupidity like that happening. I mean, I could go on and on. Herbal tea. I made hot soups all day. I made my own vegetable broths and just drank on that all day. And I took vitamin C and zinc. Took a couple shots of Mucinex. Pickled jalapeno. Why? Because when you eat spicy foods, you drain. So everybody knows your eyes water, your nose waters. Congestion clears up when you eat some spicy foods. So guess what? A week later, COVID was done for me. Why? Because I was intentional. Same thing with you. You were intentional with taking care of your body. And I tell you what, people, they either gonna get it or they're not, John. We can't take everybody, I guess, right?
No, actually, again, if people understand how the body works, one of the number one things they did to us was to place fear. And of course, if you place fear in a person, then you first of all, you take away the belief in your own biology, of your own ability to heal yourself. You take away the belief, right, by fear. So fear takes away that belief, and then who does it to you is Western medicine. And I don't have to use the history that they use on us every time they do this. They use the fear tactics, right? We can talk about that over and over again on so many levels, even the TV experience. They use fear. And so with the
say that part again right there. We have been what?
Dumbed down in this country.
Hold on,
no,
one more time, because I need people to understand really what you're saying. Say it one more time, please.
We have been dumbed down. We are so dumbed down that we are unaware of our ability to heal ourselves.
Hold on. We talking about people who used to build pyramids. They can't even come up with a mathematical equation as to how that was done.
Right.
And now we over here sitting there watching the dumb box, and every channel you turn to, all you see is notations about this stupid covert virus. I didn't even understand what people were saying at first when they kept saying covert, and then I got it. So I say it too. The stupid covert virus. We've been dumbed down, man. Keep going, man, because I want to put a hole in the wall. I'm so angry with the idea of this.
Well, they did a good job. They did a great campaign, and they pushed it out there.
That's a key word right there, campaign.
Yeah, man, they did a hell of a campaign. And here's the thing: imagine if they did that campaign for people who are eating foods that's causing diabetes. Imagine if they did that campaign, if they did that with foods of people of eating high food that's causing high blood pressure. I mean, we will wipe out blood pressure. We will wipe out high blood pressure. We will wipe out cancer. We will wipe out so many diseases, right? Just because they put out a campaign. But that's not what's happening here. And what people need to understand that all this is hooked up with the CDC, FDA, and the pharmaceutical companies. And pass to your doctor. And so they want you sick. They don't want you well because these pharmaceutical companies, this is how they get paid. They don't get paid on getting you well.
And people, if you go and do the research, and find out who's writing the curriculum for the doctors. Because see, the doctors, in a sense,
right,
are kind of caught in the middle, right? They have protocol. They have to follow protocol, and that protocol comes from above, right? But with that in mind, who wrote the curriculums? Who helped write the curriculums for these doctors? That's something to think about, because I can guarantee you, I've done the research in the past. There are conflict of interest with pharmaceutical personnel on the boards that help write the curriculums for the doctors. So all they do is pass down protocol, and the doctors have to follow that. That's it. So they followed protocol when this covert virus came out, and there were plenty of doctors that came out saying, I don't think we should be putting people on ventilators. You're teaching the body that it does not have to fight or work. The body's resilient. The body's beautiful. The body's amazing. It knows what to do as long as you and your mind does right by the body. It will do what it's supposed to, what it was designed to do, which is fight off these diseases. It's an amazing, resilient symphony of beauty going on from head to toe. But we're so dumbed down that we don't even focus on that. Man.
Yeah, you know, and it's interesting when you talk about, now I would admit that people who are not eating right, who are not taking care of their diet, people who are bent on sugar and cannot begin to understand how to quit eating sugar and how dangerous sugar is, then I understand the fear. I understand the fear if you have a appetite that you cannot control, that keeps you in fried food, keeps you in fast food restaurants, keep you eating sugar and drinking sugar drinks. I understand that fear. But however, that should not make me feel sorry for you when you have the ability to change that fear. It's up on you. It's like I got in a call, and I mentioned this in the video that I had just happened to have a call. That's what really sparked me to do the video. So I had a call that morning from my doctor. Actually, she had sent her receptionist or maybe her assistant to call me and just let me know that I was due for a checkup, that I've been 3 years without a checkup. So, and then when I told her that I was fine, everything's good, you know, I really don't get a checkup unless I kind of want to check something out, you know. But so then she tried to push the vaccine and tell me, hey, come on up and get the shot, you know. And I had that talk with her, and I told her I was healthy, I'm good. And what she tried to use was the fear factor. Well, what about your loved ones? And that's fear, you see. Now you're trying to get me to fear my loved ones. Not. Since you got past me having fear, now you want to push fear in me about my loved ones. As though I'm supposed to be concerned with what? I said, well, wait a minute. I've been telling my loved ones all along to quit eating crappy food. They ain't listening to me then. So why should I sacrifice myself to take a shot for those who don't want to listen about taking care of their health? I would rather teach my family, like I've been doing for 20 years, of how to eat right, opposed to taking a vaccine to save their lives. Because the way I'm looking at it, my aunties and everybody has done passed away in their 40s and 50s, right, from eating bad foods. And if that's not a lesson, then, you know, no one can help you. So I get it. People who don't want to change their diet, you should walk around with fear. But I'm not going to advise you to go take no vaccines, because that's another thing that's going to cause you more illnesses or more problems. I would suggest that you worry about taking care of your diet and changing. I have a cousin who been like this for years, and she changed her life just like that. And after my last auntie died, and I said, you next if you don't change the diet. She immediately changed her diet. So we got to take responsibility. And she loves it. She loves the way she eats now, love her health, feeling better. She's coming off of being diabetic. And that's what I'm saying. We just did a show about diabetes, how you can reverse, change type 2 diabetes. And I had someone who actually called me and told me, man, it was a great show, but I couldn't watch all of it. I was like, why? He said it was too long. I said, wait a minute. He's talking about your health. And I mean, I'm talking to somebody that's got diabetes, but you ain't got an hour to watch, an hour and a half, too much for you to watch. But you will go to the movies, you'll watch a game, 2-hour game, you'll watch stuff on television, but you won't watch nothing about your health. And this is what I mean when I say we have been dumbed down. You've been dumbed down so much that I'm talking to one individual some time ago. It's very interesting about how to get off high blood pressure medicine. Well, you know what they said to me? I get to telling them all the things they need to eat and change. And you know what they said? Well, I need to ask my doctor. Well, then forget it. It's over with then. You got to ask your doctor about what I told you. You might as well disregard what I told you because your doctor surely ain't going to give you that advice to eat right. He's not going to give you that, tell you that. So, because his job is to write prescriptions, and that's how he gets paid. By the way, people don't know this, and this is very interesting. You know when you go to a doctor and he gives you sample medicine that he has in his drawer, instead of prescribing you some medicine, he gives you some medicine. Well, let me tell you what that is. You are at that point the guinea pig because you are now a trial case study. So what he does is, if you have a situation, he gives you some medicine out of his drawer to see how it works. He tells you to come back. You come back and you tell him, yeah, it works, it works. Then he gives you a prescription. But guess what happens? They put that drug on the market based on his research of what he told him and all his other patients. Now that medicine is on the market. So guess what that is? That's making you the guinea pig of a new trial medicine. They do it all the time. They do it with these pharmaceutical rats who are going around carrying it.
We saw it with the Tuskegee experiment. I feel like we love abuse. You think so? You think that we have trauma due to that? I think that's what it is. We have trauma from the abuse through slavery. Therefore, just like an abused woman, she loves to keep going after that abuse. She loves to go back to that guy. She can't help it. It's a mental thing. And he's dug into her mind, and she loves to keep going after him, right? Because you would think that the first time you get smacked in the face that you would bounce, right? Because you should know that that's not normal. But depending upon your environment, how you grew up and what you saw growing up, most times in those cases, those women saw the same thing from somebody else. Hey, listen, I want to encourage anybody who's got a question or anything. 502-776-1350. You can call in at any point. 502-776-1350. But I believe that we love the abuse, John. We've seen it in Africa. We've seen the Tuskegee experiment. We've seen years upon years of the medical abuse, the medical tyranny performed directly on us as a people. Why do they experiment on us? Because they know how strong the melanated body is. I believe through research that a Black woman's heart is literally the strongest heart on Earth, on the planet, among all humans, right? So ultimately, they know how strong we are. Therefore, they continue to do the experiments on us, right? And we just keep on, yeah, Peanut, we about to go down there. We gonna get this jab, baby. Yeah, because now I need to get back in the arena to go see these sports games. Come on, bro. Stop. This is annoying, honestly, when we start talking about how people just follow suit in our community, man. And it's just crazy. Y'all sit there, look at that stuff on TV and say, all them white people, they stormed the Capitol and this, that, and the other. Them people crazy. No, they not. They focusing on trying to make sure that the government stays in check because they work for us. And y'all forget that. But, that's a whole nother story, man. What do you think that people gonna do if the quote unquote pandemic returns? I seen LA County in California, they're going back to a mask mandate. And so I would assume some other counties and such in different states will be following suit. What do you think people gonna do if the pandemic returns and you got to stay home again? Because they ain't gonna hand the money out as much.
Well, correct. Well, they call it the Delta one now. So it's another virus that tweaked a little bit and it's mutated in the South now. So, I think for the most part, if people focus, and I think this is extremely important. We just went through a pandemic where, you and I discussed a lot of how many millionaires that was made, how many ideals popped up. And I think this is something that people need to be not afraid of, is change. I think if you're resilient, if you're a person that is about trying to make things happen, just stay focused and things will happen in your favor. I do I can see it coming. I can see another pandemic coming, but I also see another field of opportunities coming. So I don't believe that nothing they can create or nothing that they can try to do can overcome us. I think we'll find a way to get through that. I was amazed of how many new millionaires were created during the pandemic. I was amazed of my company itself doing 3 times as much business as ever before that I allowed myself to take advantage of. And I was allowed to finance my daughter's business through that period. Now she's doing very well in her business. So, there's always opportunities. You just got to stay focused. If something's coming this way, stay focused. Don't be afraid and stay focused. I will tell people this, though. If you're afraid of losing your job, you shouldn't be. You should not be afraid. And this is where slavery comes in. People are afraid to lose their jobs. People are thinking that the worst is going to come. Let me tell you something. I've ran into a lot of people that started their own business during the pandemic, and they're doing quite well.
Man.
So you got to have another stream of income. This is the time. If you don't have another stream of income, you're not doing some investment. This is the time to do it. This is the time to learn how to quit spending.
That's something that has been
taught. This is the time to learn to quit.
Bro, that's something that has been taught for years, to have another stream of income, preferably another business, part-time business. Why? Because you can utilize that as a tax shelter, even as you work a regular W-2 job. So these are things that have been taught and talked about for years. And so you should already have had that set up in general. But the thing about it is...
you know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
What's interesting is that you find that the people that you and I have talked to over the time of this year, of last year, people have to be pushed to a corner to realize that another stream of income is important. You have to almost live in at your last check. That's because we've been used to living check to check. One check, you're almost out of your rent. You almost can't pay your bill. And people are getting tired of that. And so now we at a stage where some people are waking up, they're creating something new.
And that's the thing, when people get pushed against a wall, they figure things out real quick. That's why sometimes when you got lazy kids, tough love is important. Because they'll figure something out here in a minute when they're about to lose their comfortability, right? So with that in mind, this is a situation where this has been a time where we've seen more people wake up, get up and get out and do something. I mean, I've seen people of all ages starting businesses and moving forward since this pandemic, because, well, it made sense. They had to figure something out because their stream of income from their job was cut. So they had to figure something out. Hey, I want to give a big shout out real quick to brother Frank Stoner, Grand Rising family, Vicky Lateef Wayne, Grand Rising family, Joseph Reeves Sr., Grand Rising family. We got Keisha Williams, Grand Rising family. These are people that are rocking with us as well on social media, as we also do the in-person live radio show here. And as of right now, I do want to make sure that we give a big shout out, because we're going to have brother Frank Stoner on the after show here in the next half hour at 10 o'clock, which we do that online on social media. If anyone ever wants to check us out on Facebook Live at the Tipping Point Radio Show, you can find us. Absolutely. But with that in mind, Frank Stoner, Health Daddy Wow. That's www.healthdaddywow.net, home of the 100% plant-based vitamins, herbs, cleanses, and teas. We are here to help you live longer, feel better, and look great. Listen, they're at 1806 Ralph Avenue, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. That is healthdaddywow.net. as well as Abibi Tumi Trading Company, which is the home of Saya Baba and Soap Sticks products. They are in over 400 locations at a store near you. You can also find them at www.sayababa.com. That is www.syababa.com. So again, that is sayababa.com. That we all think about this here. There was some other things that you and I were talking about this week, and one of the most important things is the ability for people to really change their lives regardless of who they are and where they come from, right? So, you know, with seeing people make some drastic changes in the midst of a pandemic in order to better themselves, their families' lives, just the same, then, you know, I would say the answer is yes, but how? You know, can people, where does it start with people being able to change their lives regardless of who they are and where they come from?
You know, it's interesting. That's an interesting topic right there, and I would love for anyone to call in and talk about this one. And I don't care whether you're a historian, you are into history, you are into the African American subject or African subjects, or whatever the case may be. If you are into slavery and what happened during slavery, it's a very interesting concept. So what I'm proposing is this: regardless of what condition you live in under, regardless of what condition you live under, you can actually live the life that you want. And so, how's that possible? How's that possible when we are being beat down, we enslaved? We can name all the things white people have done to us in this country. We can name all the racism, all the things that are blocking us, redlining, discrimination, prejudice, everything. And yet, you mean to tell me we can overcome all of that and still have a life where we're not victims anymore? I say yes. And so, you know, I would love to challenge anyone, because here's what I say. I say to anyone, I don't care if you of a religion, I don't care what religion you are. It doesn't matter your religion, doesn't matter what you believe or your thought pattern. I would ask this question at the end of the day: that if I could hear you give me a lecture on what it is you believe, at the end of the lecture, did you give me any information on how to unlock the universe to live the life that I want? Because that is what I want to do in this playing field. So at the end of the day, at the end of that lecture, if you did not give me that, you just gave me nothing, just another program to send me in a circle. So again, I challenge anyone. To say that no, it's impossible. You can't live the life that you want. No, you can't manifest what you want. Why? Because the white man just won't let you do it. The Illuminati won't let you do it. I challenge anyone who feels like you cannot live a better life because of the situation is going on in this country or anywhere. I challenge anyone: can you live a better life? Can you remove your obstacles of racism in your face? Can you remove the obstacle of having lack in your mind? Can you remove the obstacle of barely paying your bills every month? You see? Can you do that with your own mind? Because here's what it takes. It takes actually finance. Currency is what I like to call it. Currency is what can move you into another dimension in this world. There are people who are wealthy that doesn't have the same concerns as needing the worries of paying their bills, needing to worry about discrimination, needing to worry about police brutality. There are people living like that right now today. So what are they? Who are they? Do their eyes are closed? They're unaware of what society is doing. So my question is it possible that you can live the life you want outside of any religious belief system or any discrimination? Can you live a better life in this planet? That's a good question. I challenge anyone on that.
Man, you know, I tell you, it's disheartening to listen to people who you'll have conversations with them, and it seems like they do not get or understand the power of their thinking, the power of the words that come out of their mouth, which affects their thinking, which in turn affects their life. You know, they don't pay attention to the things that they say, but you have to remember something. Whatever you say is what will be. You know, for all y'all religious folks out there that have that regimen of 7 days a week at church, guess what? As a man thinketh, so shall he be. So just think about that for a second. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Just think about that for a second. We've already been shown. We've already, you know, even if at the very least you said the Bible was an amazing historical book, at the very least, right? If that's what you said, you've already read that you have the power to speak, do, and become. So with that in mind, then that is no different. But it's just people take some small things and they don't realize the importance of it. You know, you sitting there just talking to different people, and you talking about how you know, I don't know, just real small minute things. You know, oh man, I'm coming down with this cold. I'm gonna be sick tomorrow. Guess what? If you say you're gonna be sick tomorrow, you're gonna be sick tomorrow. I mean, that's just,
you're gonna be sick. That's right.
it's as simple as that. You know, I catch pneumonia every year. Guess what? You're gonna keep on catching pneumonia every year because that's what you say. You know, so it's you have to get away from the programming, and you have to be intentional and take a step back from yourself and look and say, okay, all right, how can I make this change? One of the biggest things that helped me in changing my mindset was first looking at the situation that I was in, the downed, failed situation that I was in, and I said, okay, I know I can do better. So what I did was I went and I researched different things, different motivational things, different motivational speakers, and what they had to say on the subject, right? You know, for me, it years ago, it was the subject of money. You know, so I went and researched that. So I began to find things that, as I listened to it, made me feel better. And then as I listened to it, I found the ability to say, okay, if I take some of the things that they say and act upon them, then I can create that too. So it became a situation where I had to change my mindset. It happened automatically as I began to delve into how I can change. I began to change because that's what I was speaking and that's what I was thinking. So, you know, even if there's a situation where you find yourself in a failed situation, well, guess what? Now you got the tools that you can go back, grab, and rebalance your life and focus once again on moving forward. So I encourage.
So here's the question, Joe.
Uh-huh.
Here's the question, Joe. Can anybody use that? Can the person of their lowest use that? Can a person that is living in the projects, that just live under the worst condition, can a person living that's got a mediocre job, can a person still use that technique with all the racism, with all the discrimination? Is there something blocking you from gaining wealth that maybe I don't see? I don't know. Maybe I don't see it, but I'm putting it out there. I'm asking anyone to just tell me, what is it that's blocking you? So what you just stated, is that for anyone? Can anybody do that with their mind, or is it just you and I?
Folks, 502-776-1350. Again, 502-776-1350. Call in. Let's talk about this, because there's some people out there that you could be helping, just telling us your story, and we'll talk about how you can get yourself out of that situation. But yes, I believe that, you know, honestly, I believe I could go out here right now and find a homeless person. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Years ago, took a gentleman that was homeless. Myself and one of my business partners, Robert Martin, we took a gentleman that was homeless. I let him stay. I had an apartment downtown years ago, and I let him stay in my apartment. Why? Because I traveled a lot. First, we took him and had him working with us, right? Instead of just giving him money, we gave him work. And then I began to trust him, so gave him access to my place. I traveled a lot. I was every other week was gone, so gave him access to my place, and he stayed there when I was gone, and of course was there when I would come back. And next thing you know, I mean, all I'm saying, this was a gentleman who was homeless, and we took him and showed him opportunity, and he was able to no longer be homeless. So, with that being said, yes, but you have to be intentional. You have to actually say, I do not want to be in this situation anymore. But see, that's the problem with a lot of us folk. I believe that we, in the trauma of being abused through the years, we love our abuser, we love our oppressor, we love going back to that abuse. So we don't sit back and say, this isn't normal, I need to get out of this. I got a friend lives in one of the worst hoods in the city, and she's been there for years. I've tried, man, but I realize that everybody can't go. You can't help everybody. Some people, they have to want it for themselves first. They have to say, you know what, I'm tired of continually going through this same thing over and over, where I'm living check to check. The ends don't meet. Abuse, physical, mental, emotional. My kids are haywire. Why do I end up with no money? A person like that, yet they continue to go back to that situation. Girl, that right there, the person has to first want it for themselves, man. So yes, anybody can change, and anybody has the ability to do that. If in fact that's what they want. So I would say that's the first key, is you have to want to be out of your downed situation. You have to want to get out of that. And if you want to get out of that, then guess what? You have the ability to find yourself around other people that can help you. You have, because the universe will already key into your change in thought process. If you're sitting there saying, I want different, I want better, I want more, guess what? That's a frequency. You're sending that out there to the universe. The universe will I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost as if your pathway was this way, which was a terrible pathway. If your pathway was going one way, and that's a terrible pathway, the universe, the whole world will shift as you change the thought process, and that pathway will move you. You'll have a different pathway that will move you in the direction that you want to go, if you so choose to. But again, that goes back to a person wanting something different. Now, look, I heard you found out something this week, right? Because you were moving some product in Ghana, and some of your incense and such like that. And this week you found out that apparently in Ghana, 80% of the Ghanaians are Christian, and they frown upon the idea of incense.
Ain't that something?
They look at it as ideology.
Yeah.
It's sacrilege.
Yeah. A witchcraft.
Witchcraft. I mean, I just like
this band is so powerful.
I just love the way they smell, man. I mean, you got the best smelling incense on the market. Like, true story. I mean,
yeah, it's really interesting because the brother that took the products down there in an attempt to find a market, it's very interesting. The market, there's still a market there for him, but there was a sister that also took the products down there, and she's the one that came back with the report that 80% of Ghanaians are Christian, and most of them frown upon incense based on biblical text. And then you have 10% are Muslim, and probably less than 4% are spiritual. You also have those of the Rasta community. You also have those African Americans that have moved there and set up. And these individuals love incense because that's just the culture they came from. But a majority of the Ghanaians, as my understanding, do not like incense or have a disdain feeling about incense where it's just not used. It's not in the regular stores. You have to go in a certain area where you can maybe find some incense, mostly in the Rasta area where they burn a lot of incense. But no incense like mine, if that makes sense. However, with that said, we're gonna do a show. I'm gonna have that brother on this Tuesday to talk about the Ghanaian Ghana and the relationship he has with the people there.
And,
but what
that's,
I found
that's on your podcast, the Esoteric John Yah Esoteric podcast. Where can people find that at?
They can find that on Esoteric Podcast Facebook. They can find it on my Facebook page, John Yah Esoteric Concept, or you can go to YouTube, Esoteric Podcast with John Yah, and do us every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Gotcha. Please subscribe, click like, as we would ask you to do for this show here. Also, subscribe, click like. We do this out of our love. Show us love back by giving us a like and a share. But one of the things I was really taken back was about the Christian stronghold on Ghana, on the African people there. I find that amazing because what it says a lot about the land. It says a lot about the people itself. Right now, Ghanaians are still very heavily in bleaching their skin right now. Right now, Ghanaians are very heavily into Christianity, to where you got the new black Ghanaian preachers there. You can just look at some videos, what they're telling their people to do, the craziest things to do in the name of Jesus, and these people are just doing it. It's just amazing to me how easy it is. You can grab someone's brain with a concept, and then you can have them crawling on floors and doing anything you want them to do. That told me right there that, and this is why I want to have this talk with this brother, because if I was planning on investing in Ghana, that would scare me, how you can move the people that easily. So what that says to me is that another country, or one who may have interest in certain minerals in the ground, can actually create a coup to take over the president or to remove that and place another regime there. And if that happens, where does my investment go? And so I asked the question in the video, name me an African country right now. Name me one African country that is independent from Western influence. Name me one. Or now independent from Chinese influence, because I was just informed that the Chinese are there building infrastructure, building roadways. Well, what do you think that's going to return to do when they end up getting there? Right now, white people are buying up land in Ghana. Right? So Ghana, the land is going to be going up. Homes are going to be going up. Why? Because they're going to create gentrification there. Because they heard a lot of African Americans are starting to move there and set up. Ghana also was the first country in Africa that received the vaccine. Whoa, go figure that shit out. Excuse my language. But I also heard that a lot of Ghanaians are not taking it though. But as far as the Ghanaians who are Christians, it's a different ball game, because they will believe if you tell them Jesus told them to take the shot, they're taking that shot.
Hey man, I would encourage people to really do their research, man. I find it. I'll say this. I find it odd that the death of the recent Haitian president, right? He had denied the vaccines, right? And then he died. I can name off two other small countries where one of the first one died a month after he denied the WHO, or the World Health Organization, denied them access, and he died a month later. And I can name off another small country where they denied the vaccines and they died a month later. Now, I'm not saying anything with that. I'm just saying that it sounds odd, right? So, when you start looking at these other countries, especially other countries of melanated people, there is something that they want so bad from those melanated people, even if it's just to experiment. They want it so bad, and it's amazing how that goes. But I want to shed some light on something here. Sponsors for success. Shout out to Butch Mosby and the team over there. Everybody that is a part of that. We had one of the brothers who is a founding member on the show as well. But I'm gonna read y'all a post from Sponsors for Success. If you don't know, that is a community-based organization that I believe was based or started out of Louisville, Kentucky, and ultimately they have moved their process into different cities and such, or they're working on moving it into different cities across the U.S. because this can be a solution when it comes to us taking care of us, right? So it says, today we paid for flights and hotels for Caden to get to a track meet in Jacksonville. Today we paid for Elijah's hotel room in Indianapolis for a basketball tournament. Today we paid for hotel rooms and partial flight for Madison to get to Anaheim for her Olympic volleyball training. Today we paid for Braylon to get to the same track meet as Caden in Jacksonville, relieving parents from $4,047 in extracurricular activity fees and costs. S4S, Sponsors for Success. Today we pay. They raise funds for a lot of different things, but primarily they love to raise funds for kids and sports because it is important. I can say myself, I played baseball growing up. I wrestled in high school. I did martial arts, kung fu growing up. And, so I was in the band. I played saxophone. I actually just went and bought a tenor saxophone a year ago, and I'm reteaching myself that after playing for 8-9 years when I was young. Picked it back up again. Why? Because I got a father who plays saxophone in his sleep. Oh
man, he's good. He is good, man.
Hey, bro, that guy right there. Listen, let me tell you something about my pops. My pops is dope. He played when I was growing up. He played the guitar. He played the trumpet. He played the flute. He could mess with the keyboard. If the drummer didn't show up in church on time, he jumped on the drums. This dude was bad, and his primary instrument has always been the saxophone, and he was blessed by a mother in the church that told him, believe in the fact that you can play it and you will be able to play it. And so he did. And so he never went to school to train on how to play that first instrument, the saxophone. But he has been playing for over 40 years that I've known him. And he's played for dignitaries all across the world, presidents and such. Jamaica, they love him to bring him out there because my Jamaican heritage. But he's played all over, man, and he's absolutely awesome. Love him to death. He's a good dude, and we're gonna have to have him back on the show because he's one that believes in the power of the mind just the same. So we're gonna have him back on the show as well, so we can try to get some of this back out to the people. But I wanted to make sure that we highlight something positive with sponsors for success there. because we can drown ourselves sometime in some of the stuff that's going on here in the world. I know myself personally, I don't hear about things until I jump on social media because I don't watch TV, you know. So shout out to Biz Marquee. He gave us some years of cool music growing up, you know. You know, one of the funniest rappers out there. And I think what I would like to highlight about him is how much fun he had with the rap game. So definitely shout out to Biz Marquee, and our thoughts are with his loved ones and family and friends and all of us that loved his music throughout the years. So, this has been another episode, man. I know you got a couple things you want to recap before we go.
Well, actually, just, for everyone who are listening, please take care of your health. Is extremely important. Wake up every day trying to be a better you and trying to improve yourself is extremely important. Get prepared. Those of you who have children, get prepared. If you don't want your children to end up taking a shot, we're going to have to find some way where we can unite to still educate these kids. A lot of people are coming up with homeschooling programs now, and I'm hearing that they're very successful. So, figure out a way you can come up with a product and create something during this pandemic, because you got to survive it. So just figure out something you can do. And I just encourage you, first of all, whatever you do, try your best not to fall for taking the vaccine. Take care of your health.
Absolutely, absolutely. Folks, you can check me out at justaskjoe.net. Again, justaskjoe.net. You can shoot me an email from there. You can even schedule to set up an appointment for us to talk. We're starting up this life insurance agency, and I would love to just take some young brothers, especially, but just take some young people, men, women, it can be old people. It don't matter. If you have the ability to sit on the phone and have good conversation with people, listen, I want to talk to you, because I can show you how you can, from your home, make very good money and be in control of your destiny. So, with that in mind, then reach out to me. Again, justaskjoe.net. You can email us at thetippingpointshow@gmail.com. Once again, folks, this has been yet another episode. Shout out to Jerry Hazard, our engineer. Appreciate you, brother. Another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show. We will see you all next week right here on WLOU 104.7 FM and WLOUonline.com. See you, folks. We love you.
Be well.
Right. All right. Let's keep the show going. 1 second. We're going to step back in.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.
Oh man, that's dope.
Yeah. I you got to remind me, man. I make you one for reals and shoot it to you. It's easy. But I love how sometimes we just sit and talk. It's not about, I love our conversations that we have when we have guests on. But I love sometimes when we can just sit and talk. I love the fact that we can just sit and talk and have a great conversation and build like that. I believe is brother Frank Stoner coming on the show with us today. Did you by chance? Let's see. I did send him the link in Messenger. Let me see. I'll text it to him as well. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Oh man. Okay, there we go. So I texted to him as well. We'll see if he jumps on. But I sent it to him in Messenger before the show got going. Joseph Reeves pointed out something. He said, "Explain how Delta works with electricity. Then the energy of individuals can be understood."
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting myself. He might need to come on here and explain that. Can't just be throwing out deep.
Yeah, how the Delta works with electricity. I'm unaware of that. I don't know about the virus itself, how it tweaked, but I could probably say that nanoparticle will have a part of working with electricity. That sounds like something that works with something, that device that triggers it to make it opens up, but I don't know about the Delta virus, the Delta covert. That would be a conversation.
Exactly.
He did also mention about mullein leaf, which was also something that I used in my tea to drink mullein leaf. So yeah, mullein extract as well. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. He's on point with that.
It's so amazing how things can be. Your body will react to health benefits more so than medication. There's a doctor that I follow. It's a Caucasoid gentleman by the name of Dr. Quillen. And he put out a plethora of books. He used to work for the Cancer Research Center of America many years ago. And he put out some amazing books. And one of them is something about the healing power of whole foods or something of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he does talk about juicing and things of that nature. But what I love about his books is that he mentions a lot of case studies. And one study he did where it was about a child who was ADD or ADHD or however that works, ADD. And what he did was he had the mother give the child a spoonful of omega-3 oil every day. And within 2 weeks, you could see a tremendous difference in that child's brain functions. And I mean, you got to remember, kids are creating thousands of brain synapses as they are growing. They say that a child's brain is not even fully developed until age 21. So, for all of y'all that's dating before age 21, then, you might need to check that. But with that in mind, being able to do things like add omega-3 oils to your diet, which is something that directly affects the brain, I think is important because you're not getting it in the traditional boxed processed foods that people are eating. So there's some natural reoccurrence of it, fish, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And in between the skin of a fish, like let's say salmon, tuna, in between the skin and the flesh of the fish is where the majority of the omega-3s are found, right? So look at how many people don't eat the skin. And that serves well in a lot of foods. You talk about watermelon. Watermelon has something in it called citrulline. And citrulline combines with enzymes in the body to create a compound called arginine, which helps to boost the flow of nitrous oxide in the blood, the same way that Viagra does, right? So with that in mind, the highest concentration of citrulline is found in the rind, right? But we typically throw the rind away because that's what we see.
Right.
You know, but when you start talking the Mandingo effect and you look at the rind being thrown out to slaves, and you look at deep in the South, they still doing pickled watermelon rind, right? So if you want to talk about that myth right there of the Mandingo effect, then, you know, slave masters did it to themselves. That's why your daughter is brown. It's your fault. You know, you thought you was going to shame them while you had them walking around naked and whatnot to shame them. But little Becky Sue over there looking like, ooh. You know what I mean? And so next thing you know, you get a brown baby. And you standing out there in front of all the slaves. Who did this? Which one of you niggers did this? All right, well, all of you gonna pay. I tell you, man. Do you think you could have lived back in slave days? I mean, be real. Do you think that? I mean, in everything in my mind right now, because I sit on. I have a chat with my uncles and aunts and my dad and cousins and stuff, and it's a text chat, and they tell some stories, man. They tell some stories of racism that they experienced back in the day from time to time. It's not what we generally talk about, but every now and then stuff comes up, and it's funny in a sense now. But when I hear those stories, man, I always think, man, I could never have lived back there, because in my mind now again, you don't know how your mind would be affected then. But if you took the me now and you put me in the past, my light-skinned self in the kitchen with them forks and knives, nobody would have woke up the next day. I mean, I'm just saying, little Becky Sue be gone, everybody be gone. I'm sorry, we don't even need to pass this disease on. Even the kids need to go. I couldn't, I wouldn't. I couldn't and I wouldn't.
Well, interesting you said that. I was just thinking about a conversation to have with about some people that, the quote unquote conscious community are those who will consider themselves revolutionaries. And it's very interesting when I hear the word law abiding citizens, and I heard this concept with those who were packing the guns, doing the marching and stuff. And they would say, well, we're just law abiding citizens. We're not breaking the law. We're exercising our rights to carry guns. Well, let me tell you something about law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding citizens don't make shit happen because you just follow the status quo. Yeah. Remember, slavery was a law. And that means that if slavery was a law, you law-abiding citizens would be in agreement with slavery, and you won't run off the plantation. Those who ran off the plantation was breaking the law. You got to remember that. Slavery was a law. And those who escaped the plantation or even tried to run was breaking the law. So in order to have a revolution, you got to be willing to break the law. And if you are a law-abiding citizen, you can't talk to me about revolution. It's just that simple. You can't talk to me about change. And I find that interesting, even right now today, when I listen carefully, and I tell you, those who call themselves concerned about Black people, those who call themselves in the conscious realm, but in agreement with taking the shots, you're not conscious at all.
That sounds like an oxymoron.
Don't it?
You can't. I don't think you can call yourself of the conscious community and talk about taking the shot at the same time.
Yeah.
That don't sound right to me. That sounds crazy.
Yeah,
but you hear it.
Yep. And that becomes a red flag for me. And so people need to understand, even if right now this is what's happening, and I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Omar Johnson. I don't care if it's who's out there speaking to the conscious community. At your talks, if you're not talking what's going on right now, you're not talking and trying to convince the people why they should not take this vaccine, you full of shit. I don't care what fuck who you are. I don't care if you're Omar Johnson, Cyber Bay. I don't care who you are out there on YouTube doing your conscious realms. If you're not trying to teach the people why they should not take this vaccine and you're making them aware, only thing you're doing is pushing the fear. And this is what I hear. I hear those constantly pushing the nationality, constantly pushing the black power, constantly pushing these subject matters that are only trigger words. But yet at the same time, you're not telling people how to manifest a life that's better. You're not telling people why they shouldn't take this vaccine. You're not telling people why they shouldn't send their kids to public schools. That right there is a red flags for me. And you're just sending the people down the rabbit hole.
So did you just call out some people that
I did.
You adversely called out people.
I did. I will call them out. And the thing about it is, if you
have they been talking about the shot?
Who? No,
those that you just called out.
Nah, they don't talk about the vaccine, man. They too busy talking about that little agenda they trying to put themselves on the map with. They're not educating the people about not taking the shot. They're not doing that. And so they got these people's ear, but they're not teaching that fact. They're not teaching real revolutionary thoughts and how what you need to do next. Because once you tell a person you shouldn't take the shot, well then what? Now what? So now you got to tell the people how to eat. And if you don't know nothing about how to eat, then you kind of stuck when someone says, well, what should I do if I don't take the shot, right? So what I'm saying is that when you listen to their curriculum, if you listen to their whatever it is they're teaching or telling, at the end of the day, if I'm listening to you and you did not tell me how to use the key to unlock the universe, or give me the key and tell me how to unlock the universe, you ain't teaching me shit. You're not teaching me nothing. At the end of that lecture, you wasted my damn time. So I tell anyone, if a person is not trying to give you the key, there's a key to the universe. You called it, and it's called a frequency. There's a frequency key out there that you can create, that you can master, and the universe will give you whatever you want. There's this book called Creation Frequency by Mike Murphy. Great book. I just kind of got into this book, and actually it wasn't telling me nothing I didn't know, but I like the way it was worded. The creative frequency, how to create this is why I wanted to put that challenge out. That challenge, that can anyone change their life? Can anyone in any condition change their life, the life that they're living? Or are you listening to people that are constantly pushing fear, constantly talking about racism, constantly talking about, well, you're not black, you are more. Well, you're not a more, you're an African. Well, why ain't you an African? Because you're black. Why ain't you black? Because you're an African. We're still spinning those narratives to our people, and it sounds very educational, right? But it's not getting anybody nowhere. That shit's been around for years, and I don't see nobody living a better life. You're still begging, you're still asking for something, and these people are talking. They're not creating jobs, they're not creating the infrastructure that can hire people, and so what they're doing is they're just making a name for themselves off of the backs of the ignorance of people. That's it. That's all I see. So yeah, I called him out. I sure will.
Well, I ain't mad at you. I know you accidentally you probably inadvertently did that. What's up, man? What's up, Frank?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, I can barely hear you all.
Well, hit that volume key.
Yeah, you are a little low, but we can hear you.
Okay, how y'all doing? I'm sorry.
Man, I'm great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I didn't hit enter studio. I think that's what it was. And it took me a minute.
It's all good, man.
Stuff, brother. I'm just now learning it.
Hey, it's all good. I've sat on the phone with Frank for an hour to focus on some technology stuff. So believe me,
I cannot
know.
hear y'all, and I don't know why.
You can't hear us?
Well, how y'all doing today?
Good.
Doing good. Back out and come back in. Let me see.
What's that?
If you can't hear, go out and come back in.
Go out and come back in?
Yeah. Yeah, so, but that's what I'm saying is that I'm watching a lot of people continue to send the people through the circle. And, they're not teaching the people what they need to do. I don't hear at the end of the lecture.
So you're saying they got them on the gerbil wheel?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it,
No, I mean, I will say this. I mean, I believe that Ben X, I mean, with his BWO program, that is something that is intriguing, where he's bringing the opportunity for people to focus on in a sense being free, right? Because in that program they have the opportunity they teach you about forex trading, and among several other things as well when it comes to business, how to render finances to your business. So they're teaching people, I'll say that. Now I haven't listened to them much outside of that, but you may know more because you know those brothers, and have known them for a lot longer than I have. But hey, what's up, man?
Hey, brother, I can hear you now, and I got my headphones in. I can hear you. I can hear you.
That's what's up.
I can hear you now.
Now, one thing I will say about brothers in the Nation of Islam, now they're not pushing that shot. They're anti-vaccine. Yeah, and they might not speak on it. They might not be out there on the platform really making it their main point. That I don't know yet, but I do know that the minister and all those who follow him are not with the vaccine. I can tell you that.
Hey, I wanna. Hey, you know what's dope right now? Everybody look down at their shirts.
That's what's up.
Hey, everybody got their shirt on. That's what's up, man. That's dope.
Actually, this was a birthday present today.
Okay, that's right. Happy birthday, brother. Today's your birthday.
I appreciate that, brothers. 58, and I'm feeling great. When I changed my lifestyle 15 years ago, I was a hot mess. Now I feel wonderful. I feel better than I did in my late 30s, and it's amazing on how much, if you change the diet, drink more water, focus on positivity, focus on health. It turn off the news, get rid of negative people, and the people who say what you can and can't do, and it's always been this way, and the white man got his foot on our neck, and all that stuff. You get, when you stay away from that kind of thing, you'd be surprised how much the brain opens up, how much the stress goes away. I mean, it's just amazing how better you feel, how much better you move in life. I'm not gonna sit here and say there's not entities out there that when you running them hurdles, they're trying to get in the way. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. But you got to run around that, jump around it, and do what you have to do to win. And that's what they do. That's what winners do. They win. So I'm here to say that. I heard y'all early on the show talking about a great show, by the way, you guys. That's why I love listening to you guys, because it's nothing really like this on the radios, especially on the local airways. It's always, some doom and gloom shit, man. Or some, we have to watch out for these, and they don't want to let us, I'm so tired of that I can't watch it. I can't listen to it. And I refuse to listen to it. And I refuse to listen to any people that's talking that way. So I heard that. I heard that earlier, and you was talking about, can a homeless guy change his life and all that? Sure. Anybody can change their damn life. Start that day. Quit making the excuses. And I'm going to tell you, if it's several things that African Americans, so-called African Americans lead the world in, and excuses is one of them. And I'm going to say this, the goddamn excuses got to stop. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to get on there negative. It's my birthday. I don't want to get on there negative, but is that negative? Is that negative saying that we have to stop, man?
That's positive. That's
we
very
gotta
positive.
Stop, man. We gotta stop. And the reason, let me tell you this, Joe. And the reason why I say that is because Indian people, when I was a little boy running around here on the streets of West End, I never seen Indian people. I never, really thought about it. Never really. Now they over here, they got businesses in our neighborhood getting paid. How are they doing that? And we've been here before they have. The Africans, the real Africans come over here. They got a shop set up on 7th Street where they have a little Africa they go to, and they go buy their goods and they support each other. How do they do that?
Yeah, that's the international mall.
Yes. And then you have the Mexicans, the brothers and sisters on every roof, in every yard, and have just taken over the industry of that. So but how are they doing this, brothers? How do they do that? And we still sit around and bitch and moan and complain about ain't nothing out here. And I'm gonna tell you, this is the time. This is the time, baby. All these
because you out here making extra dough and you ain't got shit else to do. So
that's right.
This is definitely the time to take advantage. I've seen the stories. There was one story out there. A sister took her $1,200 check and last year, and now she has $1 million business.
That's what I'm saying.
That's freaking amazing. That's amazing to me. Look, I want to share with y'all. Yesterday, I was at I received some notable mentions and awards in the life insurance business, and the IMO that I'm under had a all agents event yesterday. And so they will do things like this once a month. They give big awards for the whole month and stuff like that. And I received something called the Ruby Award or whatever, right? With that in mind, they do something where they have, one of the guys will come up and just kind of give a little bit of a talk, a speech. And I took notes. And one of the things I'm going to share with y'all a couple of things. Say what you see, so you see what you say. Say what you see, so you see what you say. We were talking about negative people versus positive people, right? Negative people always believe that there is someone or something to blame for their current position. All right? Negative people always believe that there is someone or something to blame for their current. I've seen it a zillion, billion, quadruple million times where negative people like that always point to other things and other people as to why they're in the situation that they're in. Now, positive people can find themselves in that same situation, but they focus on the solution. They focus on how to get out, not focus on why they're there. You know what I mean? So I saw something this morning, and it is 15 small things successful people do every day. Okay. Number one, they focus on being productive rather than being busy. All right. It's important. Focus on being productive rather than being busy. Let's see. Being busy is often a form of mental laziness, lazy thinking, and indiscriminate action. All right. Number 2, they wake up early. Right. So let's see. Sergio, whatever his last name is, the CEO of Fiat and Chrysler, wakes up as early as 3:30 a.m. to deal with the European market. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, starts his day as early as 4:30 a.m. to send emails. Jeffrey Immelt, the CEO of General Electric, says he wakes up by 5:30 a.m. for his daily workout routine. So again, number 3, they focus on being with the best team. So renowned basketball coach Phil Jackson said the strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. Successful people know what they have to be with. Successful people know what they know, that they have to be with people who will compliment them. So in essence, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. If you are, then you with the wrong people, right? So you need to surround yourself by other people doing other things, and like us brothers right here, you know, we'll talk among each other individually, you know, when we talk about different things and such like that. You know, you want to be around people who are thinking on your same level and higher, right? Number 4, they focus on making small and continuous improvements. Number 5, they meditate. Number 6, they take care of their bodies. Number 7, they have balanced lives. All right. So to achieve wonderful things in life, you need to maintain balance. Successful people keep a balance with making money, spending time with their family and loved ones, and achieving personal goals. All right. That's called forward movement. Number 8, they focus on the positive. Number 9, they keep track of their progress. Number 10, they create their success. Man, isn't that what we talk a lot about? Number 11, they have successful friends. Man, if all you do is hang around with them jokers in the hood, guess what? You will be just like them jokers in the hood.
That's correct.
Number 12, they inspire others to be successful as well. Number 13, they have a consistent schedule. Number 14, they have a detailed plan. And number 15, they never procrastinate or make excuses. 15 small things that successful people do. And the last thing I'm going to spit out is something called the Galatea effect. G-A-L-A-T-E-A, the Galatea effect. The Galatea or the Galatia effect is one of self-efficiency, the belief, trust in oneself and one's abilities and potential to succeed. Employees' beliefs about their ability to perform at a certain level actually impact how they perform. So, you know, the belief and trust in oneself and one's abilities and potential to succeed. There's a lot of things that I know personally. You know, I mean, the first taste of business that I personally had was in middle school. You know, I started selling sandwiches, and I sold hot and cold sandwiches. And, you know, I used to cook as a kid growing up, and I would make some really good sandwiches. And so I printed out menus. I took a 8.5 by 11, and I printed out 4 menus in each quadrant. I cut that up, and then I would pass that out, and I'd have people check off what they wanted. And so every Friday I would bring these coolers, one with hot sandwiches and one with cold sandwiches in it, to school. And I was making so much dough that the principal came to me and told me I needed to shut it down because the cafeteria was losing money.
Cafeteria was making no money.
Yeah, and somebody said to me before, they said, man, it would have been nice if the principal had encouraged you in business as opposed to discouraging you. You know, but nonetheless, that didn't discourage me at all. That was my first taste in business in middle school. I think it was actually. But with that in mind, you know, I've done a lot of things that I jumped in both feet first. I had never done it before, but I just believed that I could, and I trusted myself. I believed and trusted in myself that I could. Therefore, I just went and did. And I, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I bumped my head and learned along the way. You know, but I think that's one of the things. You know, I have conversations with people right now. I just had this conversation literally yesterday with someone. You know, they're wanting to get out into the food industry. Very great cook, and she is so. I mean, like she's sitting there. The analogy in my mind is she's sitting at the edge, and I just want to push her off. Because she's just sitting there saying, no, I'm not sure. Oh, you know, I'm not, I just want to push her off so she can just do it. You know what I mean? Because she's that good. I see it in her. She needs to see it in herself. So it's just interesting how you'll have some people that they come out and they are not afraid of the world, and they will go out and they'll rock the world. And some people where the world will rock them. And it's just interesting how that works, man. But positive versus negative, man, it's all right there.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Let me ask you, Frank. You know, I know this is something we kind of talk about a lot. You know, when we talk about this, you know, I know you and I don't spend a lot of time we don't spend time talking about the doom and gloom and the police brutality, slavery, and all of that. Here's a question I love to propose to anyone, specifically those who call themselves historians. Is it possible under these conditions? I don't care what ghetto you point at, what community you point to. Is it possible that that individual can live a stress-free, oppress-free life? And let me say that again: stress-free and oppress-free life in this country. Is it possible? You know, so you know, or is it so possible that those who see those who have made it, who say they don't see racism, who don't see oppression, are they just somehow brainwashed sellouts? I know that a lot of times that when we talk about those like Oprah Winfrey, those who have really made it, what we would call make it in success of this collection of material things, some people call that success, that they have to sign themselves over to some Illuminati or some type of force to get that particular status in life. So the question is are we stuck? And if we make it, do we have to sign over our life to something? Or are we just in conditions that the white man just have that much power on us? We can't move forward. Which is it? It's got to be one or the other. You know, it's got to be the one that either the white man is that powerful, and there is no such thing as being able to achieve and or to overcome. You cannot overcome racism in this environment. And I know that's a heck of a topic to talk about.
And let me say this before you answer, Frank. When you say the white man is that powerful, that is to say that you are not.
Exactly.
So that's an omission of you saying that you are not. Now I know you ain't never. I'm never gonna admit that,
right?
Personally,
right?
That they more powerful than me, or that anybody has the ability to be over me and make me do other than what I want or choose to do. So that says something about an individual right then and there when you say that. But go ahead, Frank. That's a tough. You got a big one to answer.
That's a tough one, John. But I'm gonna go at it this way. I say his media is powerful. The propaganda is powerful. What they put in your head is powerful. And if it was that bad, then I'll go back to my comments earlier. The Mexicans, the Middle Easterners, The Africans, they coming over here and cleaning house. You know, our children are gonna be working for them. There ain't gonna be no white man to worry about. There ain't gonna be no white man to worry about. Your ass, your children are gonna be working for the Arabs.
But think about it. Think
The
about
Middle
it.
Eastern.
We've already been moved from second-class citizens to now officially third-class citizens behind the Latino community.
Oh boy,
Right?
most of us. I ain't behind no goddamn back. But the simple fact is, you're gonna have to physically stop me from doing what I have to do. If it is a boogeyman out there, he's gonna have to physically stop me from doing what I need to do to feed my family and myself and to live, a certain type of lifestyle. Now, I don't have to have the Oprah Winfrey or the Shaquille O'Neal lifestyle. I don't have to have that. I don't even have. I tell people all the time, I don't even have a flat screen TV in my home. That ain't what success is to me. So I'm perfectly fine.
I think success is more the ability to do what you want, when you want, as you want.
Yeah.
I find that to be success.
It is, in my opinion, too.
Because that's freedom.
Yes. And that's more important than anything, man. I'm free to do this. And we live in a lot of people, and me too, I jump on America's case for a lot of things that they do. But bottom line is, man, we live in a place where the opportunities are endless. If you really look at it, you can pretty much achieve, just go where you want to, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna try to achieve whatever I can. I'm gonna go as far as I can take myself, and like I said, unless somebody come at me at gunpoint and say, hey, you can't do this no more, then it might be a different story. But I'm not listening to no outside entities or people who can't get up at 4 a.m. and work till 10 o'clock at night. All that old lazy stuff. People who don't have ideas. The people who don't create. Talking about what we can and can't do. I'm not gonna listen to that, because the Arabs, the Mexicans, and whoever else to come over here and pass our asses up now, as Joe says, now the Latinos, they doing the thing. There ain't no excuse, man. We have the incomes, we have the revenue for this.
So are we saying that the condition that the listeners are in is their fault, not the white man's fault?
A lot of it, John. A lot of it is the individual's fault. Especially in America, brother. Especially in America.
At this moment in time, it is your fault if you are not where you want to be in life. It is your fault, because today, in this day and age, the opportunities that we have now are absolutely amazing. They giving it out for free. You could go to school, you could get a certification, you can make a decision. I mean, look, we just brought on a guy in life insurance straight out of high school, right? Already making $5,000 a week. Straight out of high school.
Wow.
He's not going to college. Listen, man, I'm trying to told you that you have the ability, if you so choose to change your mind in whatever way you want. You have the ability, but it's just people are so dumbed down, as we said earlier. They are dumbed down to think. I mean, these are the same people that built pyramids, right? Your great granddaddy. That lineage is in your blood.
So if we were all wealthy, if we were all living the life that we want, will there be racism?
Would there be racism?
Will there be discrimination? Will there be prejudice?
No.
Because I'm gonna say this. And a lot of people don't understand when I say this. Thank goodness for lazy people. Thank goodness for lazy people, because see, lazy people are going to clean your house because they don't want to own shit. They want the easy ride. And I'm gonna say this: they want the easy ride, and I'm not mad at them because everybody don't want to work hard. Everybody don't want to do what I do. You know, they just want to come and clean somebody's house and go home. So,
and we gotta say, because I mean, you know, you might have somebody come clean your house. They might clean your house better than anybody ever cleaned.
That's
they
right.
take pride. They take pride in that job. So everybody can't be an owner, because then who gonna work? You know, I ain't doing it.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you know, everybody cannot be an owner. But I definitely see what you're saying, you know, with respect to that. There are a lot of people, especially right now in this day and age. Do y'all see they trying to pay people? They got a $1,500 tax credit or something where they trying to give you $1,500 to go back to work.
Well, let me answer this point real quick about that, about people working and cleaning up. Now, of course, now I don't have employees. I don't call that employees. What I teach here in my company is that everybody works for themselves. You a contractor. You get a 1099 from me. You work for yourself when you work in my warehouse. You don't work for me. And so when you look at that point, even a person who cleans a house can be working for themselves.
Yep.
And they can have many jobs. So it depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at yourself as an employee, or you're looking at it yourself as a contractor. Even if I'm cleaning houses, I'm actually working for myself. So
and that one house could be one of 20 houses that you clean as a contractor.
Correct.
Technically, as your own business.
It's how you manifest. And when you look at those who built the pyramid, when I studied that, they weren't slaves. Those who built the pyramids, in fact, the pharaohs respected the builders as skilled men. And so these skilled men was contracted. They were from other regions. Some of them was from Ethiopia. And they all came to help build the pyramid. They were contracted. They weren't slaves. So it also is based upon how we look at life. If we look at it differently, if we look at it as an attempt to serve humanity in whatever field you're doing, whatever business you're doing, be happy about it. If you're happy about what you're doing, then that's the life that you want. It doesn't mean that you have to be happy with a $10 million a year job. You can be just as happy as if you had $1,000 a month job, as long as you are above the means that you need to be to survive, be happy, and travel, and to live the kind of life you want. And so I think everyone can live this type of lifestyle, but I think for the most part, those who have been specifically told and taught this concept, that I think it blocks them. I think we have what is called a block in our subconscious that is stopping us from achieving greatness within ourselves. And I think that's the key, because I do also believe that everyone can achieve it, to where you don't see racism, you don't see discrimination, you don't see these things. I don't see it. I don't see those things, and people will wonder why. Because I don't watch TV. That doesn't mean it's not going on. What that means is it's not in my vision. It's not in my dimension, because I don't entertain those thoughts.
It's not in your world.
Yeah, I didn't mean
you're the controller of your world. Go ahead.
I didn't mean for people. I don't mean for people to think I meant if you lazy, you clean a house.
Right.
Because you're right. They can be individual contracts, and they can be very lucrative. Actually, if you got 20, 30 houses, and you can get somebody else to clean them too, but you just leading that packet cleaning houses. What I meant was, thank God for lazy people, is it's a job that I have now that had kind of catapulted me to what I'm doing now, because I use those funds to able to fund what I'm doing now. So what I mean by that is I was able to get in the door. So that was through people, maybe, okay, let's see, that was through people retiring, and just plain, when I got there, it was people who didn't want to come to work. I'm thinking of these people. I'm thinking of, some of these people, and I'm not talking about everybody's lazy. I'm not saying that at all. But these people who didn't want to come to work, wanted to make excuses, wanted to slack on the job and stuff like that, and eventually getting let go. I'm talking about those people, how I got my foot in the door, and then I seen that this job paid more than I had ever made in my life. So what I did was, before I got there, the highest I had made was like $12 an hour. And then when I got there, the job started paying more, about $10 more. So so I didn't that more money that more money I made, I did not change my lifestyle. I kept the same lifestyle as I had pretty much when I was making $12, $13 an hour. So I was able to invest and create other things with that money. And now, I'm able to do, I bought goods to sell. You understand what I'm saying? So it got me to where I am now. So that's what I meant when I said that, in that sense, not that people who, don't own businesses, because that is a business in cleaning houses and stuff like that. But you are going to have the person, that would rather pick up a parking lot than go to somebody's job every day.
Well, you
know
like
what I
you
mean?
said, you will have people who will not reach for their highest potential.
Yeah.
You will have people who have the ability to be greater and be better, but only reach for the low bar.
So if we all had good incomes and we all, so you still gonna have a pecking order, brothers. I mean, you still gonna have somebody who don't want to. Man, owning a business, it takes work.
Yes.
And then if you and let me say this to people who never own businesses, and us as so-called black business owners, and I say so-called whenever I say anything about black or any race thing kind of things and all that, because that stuff is made up in my opinion. Well, anyway, let me say this to the people out there. I do own this business, and I have a few family members who work with me. I don't have any employees. I don't think I would ever have any employees. As John said, these people would be contractors, to help me out in my business. But we only have a few people we can trust, like Mr. Dean. She's helped me along the way. It's been 9 years, and this woman has helped me, in our growth. Now, this business is open pretty much 365 days a year, pretty much. And she has, and the fact that I still do other things, that I can't be here every day, this door's got to be open every single day. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to have somebody to trust to do that. And you only have a few people to help you out, because you got to worry about, as a small business owner, you got to worry about if people going to steal from you.
Yeah.
If people going to give your goods away. And if people going to do things like you do. Nobody's going to run your business like you do.
Woo.
They're going to skimp.
It's a particular passion, man, that.
Yeah, it is. And nobody's going to have that. Nobody's going to show up. So sometimes me or Mr. Dean can't be here. And, you may, something may happen, and she may have to open at 12 instead of 11. Or something tragically might happen in here, and we may have to close that day. So understand, when you have family-owned businesses, these kind of things happen. We don't. If we was like a CVS or a big conglomerate, we could hire employees, but that ain't the way it works when you have small things like this. So be patient especially with up and coming business, especially if they have a brick and mortar. Don't be so hard on your so-called black-owned businesses. When they sometimes they open up a little later. Sometimes, remember, they open every day, and if 5 days out of the year they kind of little things happen, understand that it don't mean you're the worst ever.
Right.
It's just that some things happen, and what I'm saying is she does it every day. So things are going to happen. So when you put that much pressure on 2 or 3 people for 9 years, things are going to, things are going to happen. So, we run out of stuff. We just, things happen.
It's the same things that happen with other businesses. Same things. They all happen.
Yes, they do.
Same things happen, but when it comes to us, you know, first thing we say is, you know what, I can't do this no more. I ain't working with none of us when it comes to that. Hey, look, John told me a story. John told me recently a story where he was working with a black-owned business over some product, and it didn't come out to the best quality. Now in his story, he didn't say, I went to go find some of the others. He actually went to another black-owned business for that same thing. And I don't think the second one came out as great as well. But again, that did not deter him. In the meantime, he might have to go to his white boys to get that stuff done because he needs the stuff done. The white boys that he normally deals with, he got to get that stuff done, right? But his quest to find another black-owned business to replace and to continue to work with is still there.
Right. And here's what I do, and this is what I teach also, and I learned this even in my own product, as I had begun to switch different brands and different names, trying to find that niche, right? And I was trying to keep it black, and I found out quit focusing on a black product and focus on a quality product.
Right.
And so when saying that, when you putting something out there in the universe, let me tell you, this is very interesting. When you put an ideal of something you want to do out there in the universe, you create that creative frequency. The universe don't come and ask your ass, you want me to send you somebody black to help you? It doesn't.
Right.
Emotionally fucking concerned with that black shit. The universe will send you whatever it's going to take. It's going to send you the best quality person to get the work done. If you sat and say, well, universe, damn, or God, you didn't send me no help. He said, yes, I did. But your dumb ass was trying to use a black theory to whether or not you want to do business with them. So you denied your own fucking self. So I'm like this. I deal with people in China. I deal with people in Taiwan. I have a white custom broker. I go for the best. And if they happen to be black, boom. But I don't really seek that, because once I put something out there in the universe, I see who shows up. I want to know who the fuck can show up. One time, and this is an interesting point, because I made a post about this. Maybe about last summer before last, I didn't have air conditioning in my warehouse. My warehouse was out of air. So I'm running around here trying to find me a person that's black to fix my damn air conditioning. And I be damn, I run into this brother. I said, man, come and fix my air, blah, blah, blah. You know, we have an agreement. Boom. Okay, I'll be there 9 o'clock in the morning. Hell, you know, we start 9 o'clock. So he's not there. Okay. So next day, boom, man, you coming? Boom. No, he didn't come. So I'm kind of pissed. I'm in the middle of the damn day. I'm pissed. I see a truck riding past my door that said on there, we repair air conditioning. I said, hey, I waved him down. It was a white man. I said, man, listen, man, I don't have no air. I need some air in here. You know what he said to me? How early you want me to be? I said 9 o'clock in the morning. He came at 9:01. Fixed my air and went on. See, the universe don't give a shit. The universe had me walk out that damn.
The universe does not see color.
No,
it does not.
I was pissed off. I stepped out my door. I'm pissed off now. I'm pissed. I'm pissed at the black man who keep on holding me up. I step out that door and here come a truck with the big old sign saying we repair air conditioning. Oh, you should have seen me go wave him. Now I knew the universe was saying, here you go. I got you one right here. Fuck his color. Just let to get the work done. Universe don't give a shit. So you got to understand that when you create business, you put something out there, just wait and see who shows up.
And let me say this. Brothers and sisters, what John was just talking about, stop doing that. What I find is too, a lot of those brothers and sisters be very talented and they're in demand. So instead of saying, I got too many clients right now and I can't get to you, they'll say, okay, I'll get you. And then they can't make it over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
They're trying to get your business. Hold on. But they're trying to get your business. They're trying to keep your business.
Yeah. Common sense should have you say, let me pick up the phone and call this man and say, hey, I'm not going to be there because I'm overbooked.
But I, you know what I noticed? It's contractors that do that too in our communities. And I'm here to tell you now, stop doing that. they are good at what they do, and they're in so much demand that sometimes they don't give a shit, and they're gonna be like, well, he eventually call me, or they're gonna wait for me, or something like that, and you
Or they just
can't
believe
do
they gonna
that.
get the money somewhere else because they
Yeah,
busy, because they in so high
yeah.
demand right now. So they don't care that this money over here then fell by the wayside. But see, that's not what you're supposed to be focused on anyway. Because if you focus on great customer service when it comes to
Yes,
business, the money will always come.
the money's gonna
Focus on a
come.
great product. Focus on making sure you give great service. The money will always come.
I have all kind of people come in here. This is not just a black business or any of these colors, type of businesses. White folks come up in here. White folks find me here, and they come here because of my product. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, John's Incense are in here. John's Incense, and that's no lie. And that I'm not kissing his ass right now. He got the best. When you smell his incense from the
Yeah.
package, and the people are in here talking about, damn. And then when they get them home, they smell just like they burn. That is a good product, and they keep coming back for it. And
Go ahead, John.
it
Go
gets
ahead,
so
smile, bro.
popular.
I see
Hold on,
it coming.
hold on, hold on. It gets so popular that they run out of a certain one that they like, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna get him in here, and that's the brother, it's a black-owned businesses, and they be like, yeah. We don't give a shit. That's what it means. We don't care what color they are.
I know.
The
Who
product
owns
is
this?
great.
Pretty much. Now a lot of them do,
Yeah.
but a lot of them, it's the product. It's the quality of the product is what they come back for. They love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
mean, the fact, I'm sure, especially in this day and age, the fact that it is black owned is a plus on top of the fact that it's a great product.
yes, and that's what we
So
want to get to. We want to get to where it is black owned, so-called black owned. I can't stand that labeling, man. I mean, it just does something to my
yeah.
soul. But it is that and then let me say this: it's for the people out there talking about he ain't proud to be black. Kiss my ass. I know what I am. I know what I look like. I am very proud of what I am, and I'm gonna tell you something. Even as a little boy growing up, I never seen me as a little nappy head boy. I never got it where our color stopped us from doing this and that. It did never computed to me ever in my life. Now, and I did grow up, don't get me wrong, where in restaurants I seen where they promoted white boys over me because that's what they did, as in taking care of themselves. That was a business kind of thing that they did. I mean, was it fair? Hell no, it wasn't fair. And I knew I was clearly better than them, but they built this company and they weren't about to have no black dudes come in there, working over they boys. And I see, is it fair? No, but I seen it as they're keeping their company within each other. And I
so we
don't
can
see
learn
anything
from
wrong
that.
with that.
So
That's
we can
right.
learn from that.
And he's just doing.
And they're saying that black people can't be racist.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't have no white boy working for me. I've turned down many. I've turned down many. Said I can't. I ain't got no work for you. And so you're right. I ain't gonna bring no white boy in here to work with my people back there. I ain't got no work for you.
So somebody build a company and the CEO is white. The chief executive officer is white. I mean, human resource. Everybody's white. They're gonna pretty much hire brothers, sisters, aunties. Man, they taking care of their people, man.
Exactly.
And nothing wrong with that.
Whoa.
If I when I go big and I have to have a CEO, guess who the hell I'm gonna pick? I'm gonna pick my little brother, or my other brother, my sister, my cousin. It ain't got nothing to do with no damn race.
Right.
I'm taking care of my people, man. I'm taking care of my people who they need jobs.
Look.
You understand what I'm saying? That's who I'm taking care of. That's how you build industry. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
You take care of within, then they have jobs. Who product they buy? They buy your products. You know, it don't make no sense for a dude working at Ford. And to me, it don't make no sense for a dude working at Ford go out and buy a Chevy. Why would you do that? Why would you go out and buy a brand new Chevy if you work for Ford? Well, what I'm saying is, if you know, so if my family work for me, chances are they're gonna be buying my product, putting more back into me, and that's what other cultures do. Indian restaurant, all you see is Indian people.
You have to smack them upside the head if you see them take a picture at GNC and put it on Facebook. What? Come here.
They just take care of their peoples, man, and then people they want to go around and you know, people who have private owned companies, y'all gotta hire us. No, they don't. I know it's gonna be a lot of people for saying
Man, that
no,
Black
they don't.
Lives Matter. Woo.
No, they don't. I own a private owned company. I'm gonna hire who the hell I want to up in here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna look out for who looks out for me first, and that's what they do. They won't like people who are like them. You know what I'm saying? I you know, I try to stay within that. Uh, you know, people I know, people I trust, and that's pretty much what they do. Ain't got nothing personal against you. Some of y'all come in the door, and then if they build this big company, you know, they're just gonna hire a bunch of you to take over their company. Come on, man. That shit don't happen. You know, you built this company, it's gonna stay within, and it's business.
Yep, it's business.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I personally, I only hire white people because everyone's chained to a desk, and I walk around with a whip, and you know, I pop them every now and then, and whatnot. No, I'm just playing. But you know, I don't have a problem hiring anybody, especially with this life insurance agency building. But I have a special heartfelt concern for the want and need to move more of my people into this financial space because you don't see as much of us. Man, so hey, Frank, so tell us what we're looking at.
Yeah, give us a view of that, man.
Yeah, I want everybody to see. This is what Health Daddy, Mr. Neen, and the folks who help Health Daddy out built. Most products we make ourselves. Most products. This is a grueling. Well, I ain't gonna say that because we do it with pride. Okay, so you know, although it's tedious and this demanding, and we got to make sure everything right. You know, we just make sure it's done. So you know, we have our teas and we have our capsules here. You know,
so give us a tour. Give us a tour. If I walk in there right now and I say, Health Daddy, you know, I'm you know, I'm a man and I don't get as hard often. You know, I'm a man walking off the street. I don't get hard that often. You know, my sex game is soft banana-ish. You know, what can you show me? Where you gonna take me to in that store?
I'm glad you said that. Let me see if I can turn this around.
Yeah, and Frank, how do those brothers ask you that question? How do they ask you? They have a erectile dysfunction. How do they go about that?
They do it like this.
Yeah, they do.
They do it quietly.
They do, and they use the commercial term ED. What you got for ED? And then they treat it as if like life is like you can take a magical pill and heal your ED. Now that might work for a minute, but that does not work for the long term. And I don't teach the long term. I mean the short term. So I'm going to teach how you can get your erection and keep it. You understand what I'm saying? In a healthy way. You know, we don't deal with. There ain't no quick fixes up in here. So don't come up in here.
No
talking
quick
about
dick
a
fix.
Quick fix.
Quick dick fix. Ain't no quick dick fix, y'all.
That's right. We fix it the right way so you can have long-term wood, so to speak. Okay, let me see if I can turn this
So you can
around.
have longevity.
Uh-oh. What did I?
Oh. Hey, that's one thing about Frank, man. When it comes to technology, boy.
He's gonna push the wrong button.
Yeah, here you go. There you go, right there. He done came back.
See, I told you I can't. Look, anyway, we're gonna do it like this. Funny you mentioned that, Joe. Real quick. Y'all see them? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Shit, hold on.
We just talked about this earlier. Go ahead, Frank. Tell them. Tell them.
See them?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are seeded watermelons, men. Get some of those in your life. First of all, I'm gonna tell you, drink 6 glasses of water because that's gonna keep the blood flowing and the water flowing. Okay, if you want to get your wood back, we're gonna start with 6 glasses of water, and then we're gonna start to eat for the first meal of the day. Now, I got people who play games with me. Quit playing with me. Okay, when I ask you, so I say, what you eat for breakfast? Well, I normally don't eat breakfast. See, I gotta hear these games. Yeah. So what I did now my language is, what do you eat for the first meal of the day? What do you do after your fast?
Right.
Well, I ate a sausage and biscuits. Well, you can't do that no more. That's why you can't get no hard on now, because you can't eat that stuff that you used to do. So I would start out when I break my fast, first meal of the day, melons. Men eat the melons of the world, seeded watermelons, mangoes, papayas, honeydews. I found that those are really good for the men in libido issues. We had already talked about the water. And then we're going to get into some circular herbals and like herbal teas. I have a circulation tea here with the cinnamon, ginger, turmeric. We also have a horny goatweed tea here. Horny goatweed, look that up. You also have maca root. You have your hembe bark. These are more of these sexual circulatory herbals, libido herbals that you can ingest every single day to help you with that. All right. What you got there, Joe? We also have these in capsules.
Hey, look, I got some.
What you got there?
I got some longans, right? I think these are either longans or lychees. I can't remember which one. Cherries. Hey, look.
Yeah, cherries.
I got some dragon fruit. Hey, look. The darker the color, the higher the antioxidant value, right?
Yeah.
I got my watermelon. It's first meal of the day. My kiwi and my kumquats. Look,
And each time you bite into one of those, you get a squirt of juice or water. That's also hydration. That is also cleansing the kidneys. As Dr. Akmar, who John has brought on board. I've learned a lot from him. The kidney, nourishing the kidney is the key to the whole body, for one, and it's the key to getting your ED back. The kidney is key to health, so you definitely want to nourish that kidney.
I feel like if somebody is having erectile dysfunction problems, then to me, the first thing that would say is that they have coagulated blood, right? Which means that their blood is thick and they're not getting enough oxygen through it, right? So if your blood is thickened and you're not getting enough oxygen through it, that's diet related all day long. You are close to potentially having some type of heart attack, blood clot, or
stroke. You're absolutely right.
Your body tells you all type of different things, if you just pay attention. And in this day and age, ain't nobody got an excuse because the Google gods know every damn thing.
Thank you, Joe. I mean, damn, we can find out who won the 1950 NFL championship You know, who was the MVP of the 1945 NFL. We can find all of that bullshit out, but we
you
can't
can't
find
figure out
out.
why your dick don't work.
That's right. And then we keep listening to the people who make your dick stop working, the TV, these people who
These white coats.
the food, people who bring you the food, and that's why I tell them don't eat and drink things that have a TV commercial. Stay away from that bullshit. Stay away from the people, the foods and stuff who got TV commercials. Do that first, okay? Eat more things that's from the earth. Eat more foods that love you, and let's not kill the food either. There's enzymes in the food. Juice the foods. You know, juicing takes work. A lot of people don't want to do that. Juicing takes work. Juicing is very very nutritious. Right here. This is gonna be my first meal of the day today. This is a cantaloupe. Okay, then I'm gonna do some herbal teas, and when I eat later on, I'm gonna try to eat something nutritious. Do I eat nutritious food every single day? No. I treat myself to those kind of things. But I'm gonna do what that
80-20.
Yes, a lot of foods that have enzymes, that has nutrition, vitamins, to keep my body going. You don't put dead food in a live body
and think it's going to continue to work.
Yes. So, and the reason why, and people say, well, some people say, well, okay, you can no longer, and let me say this too, you can no longer ask me if my product works or if the herbals of the earth work. You can no longer ask me that. We've been in business for 9 years. We've helped many people. I am a witness myself to this great healing just by reversing a lot of things that I did from 2 to 38, just by reversing my diet. And we talked about that I'm a better man. I'm a better man for it. I have the energy, I have the memory, the libido, I'm better than I was in my late 30s. So you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me that when you bring on earthly diets and a mindset, you can't tell me that it don't work. You just can't. So you come on up in here and you listen and you keep trying to, and let me say this, I gotta give this disclaimer. I am not a doctor, and I don't plan to be one, and I don't want to be none. I'm not giving out doctor's advice. I would never do that. I am giving you what was given to me and what I have tried on myself, and it has worked. And all it is a lifestyle change. Understand that, man. You can't keep eating pancakes and sausages and bacon and chitlins and all that and expect your body to change.
Come on, Frank. It's vitamins in the pancakes and the sausages. It's got vitamins in there.
It's got vitamins in there. If it is, it's synthetic vitamins. See, we got to understand what that is.
If you eat a biscuit and you eat a whole bunch of bread, it's vitamins in there, man. It's wheat bread. It's wheat bread. No, it's wheat bread. Wheat bread is healthy for you.
We're going to let the body decide that, because how you feel, the body's going to let you know about that. And a lot of times they will die. Listen to this. These are the things I found out to my journey to health. They will dye white bread brown and call it wheat bread.
Sure will.
These fools are able to get away with this shit, man.
Yeah.
They are able to get away with it. And then I come along and say, hey, they dyeing your white bread, bro. It's people in place that don't let that happen. That's bullshit. Because
people will be surprised. people would be surprised to know that the FDA allows a certain amount of rat hairs
Yes.
on your foods, right?
In your chocolates, they will.
You know, all you got to do is research this stuff, folks. It's right there, like it's in your face. You know,
That's
how
why
do you hide? How do you hide things from people in this day and age? You put it in a bunch of words.
yeah. And that's why
Right in people's faces.
some companies mass produce and are so big that you can't keep the rats out. They just overwhelming it, and you get a lot of those rats who fall in the vat of where you cooking your stuff. They just fall in there, and they're allowed to be cooked in with it. You know, and that's why they come up with just so much rat hair is allowed in her, because they know it's going to happen.
Hey, real quick, Frank, and then I got to roll out. What do you think about them getting ready to roll out this new pandemic for this new virus that's coming out? What's your opinion on what's happening now?
What are you talking, John? When you talking about the people, the door-to-door stuff? What are you talking about, John?
The door stuff, pushing the vaccine, this Delta virus and all this stuff is coming back. You know, they're getting ready to start pushing this pandemic back. What do you think?
First of all, fear is very
Powerful.
Yeah. Thanks for that word. Fear is very powerful. So if they scare you, they get you to do just about anything. All right. It's got to be something too. When they say line up, we're gonna give you a chance to give you $1 million to take this shot. What the hell is going on, man?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Why? I mean, but why don't we understand that, man? I mean, you know, what is going on? Why do they want you to have this so damn bad? And the money they have spent on advertising for this thing could pay reparations 3-4 times if we want to do that. Why do they spend money on these kind of things?
These are people and businesses who all they do is focus on making bunches and bunches of money.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they won't give you some free shit.
Wait a minute.
You don't find that odd?
There's a lottery ticket that you can actually win for taking the vaccine. They're saying you can win $1 million.
I'm hearing something about I'm hearing this through the grapevine. So it is alleged that you can go get the shot and sign your name into this pot to win $1 million.
Wow.
It is alleged.
I posted it on my page.
But I thought, I remember seeing that, but I thought that meant, maybe I was confused with the word lottery. Maybe my brain went, they'll give you a free lottery ticket for you the chance to win a multi-million-dollar. I didn't know that it was actually part of the shot. You take a shot and your name go in a drawing to win $1 million. That's dope as shit. You mean to tell me they go that damn far to get people to line up?
I think, John. I think. Well, it may be what you said, but you know, I'm the kind of guy. I just read the headline on that kind of thing and keep it moving. I don't worry about that stuff, man, because
I posted it on my page this week, and all I'm trying to do is listen. I'm going out to the West End. I'm trying to find where the fake vaccine cards are, who's printing them. And I'm trying to figure out, who got the hookup on getting my entry into this lottery without having to take the jab. I know we're doing it. I know we did. Somebody over in the West End, let me know. Holler at your boy.
And let me say this real quick. If I wanted the shot, I'll go get it. Don't come to my house, please. Don't come to my house. That is disrespectful, okay? Don't come to my house. Why do you have to get mobile?
Oh, Jehovah's Witness ass.
Ain't that something? Don't do that, man. Don't come to my house and ask me something like that. I'll go do that. I'm intelligent enough to find it if I need it. It's everywhere. Why are you trying to force this on me?
Look.
Okay, and then last thing, I know y'all gotta go. Let me say this. We talking about the new strands, viruses, bacteria, funguses. This is see, if you know the body, this is a part of life. This is a part of life. The immune system is the greatest thing ever. ever, ever, ever. It is the most, okay, you should focus on boosting that defense system. This is all the more reason why uh, herbals, vitamins, clean water is most important in your life right now. Boost your immune system. Vitamin C, and I'm not talking about synthetic vitamin C. I'm talking about the real vitamin C's of the world. Uh, Make sure you are doing these things. This is how you fight these things off. And for the people who, no disrespect to you, but all that stuff you spray and wipe and all that, read the ingredients in that stuff. You can be doing more harm than good. You are poisoning yourself with these chemicals that you're spraying, hoping to kill off funguses and bacteria and germs that you actually need. Some of it you need. You need bacteria on your fingertips. You need good and bad bacteria on your fingertips. If you keep killing everything that comes your way, your immune system will say to hell with you.
So think about what they're doing when they have you sitting there using hand sanitizer all day long, wanting you to put on gloves, wanting you to put on masks, all the things that there's thousands of bacteria and things in the atmosphere that our body recognizes. It needs that in order to recognize the good, the bad, in order to decipher between it, in order to fight off this, that, and the other. It needs all of that. But
yes, it does.
You stop all of that once you put on gloves, masks, and keep hand sanitizing your hands and all that stuff all day long. You eliminate your body's ability for its computer to work properly.
It is throwing you all off balance. It's gonna the defense system and our immune system is going to get lazy on you. You're going to catch everything coming and going. You're not going to be able to fight off stuff if you keep these things up, man. It is so frustrating to see this happen to our people, man. They spray these things that have 30 different cancer-causing chemicals in it.
And you know what it is? It's all about a lack of knowledge of self. I know we got to go, but
yes,
a lack of knowledge of self. Because here's the thing: if you can be scared into doing something that you maybe before were skeptical about or didn't want to do, if you can be scared into doing it, guess what?
Yes.
No knowledge of self. You don't understand the power that you truly have. You don't believe that Galatia effect or Galatia effect. You don't have that because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can and you will. Nah, you don't, because you were able to easily be scared into doing that. Even if you were just selfish, fellas, if you were just selfish and eating these raw fruits and vegetables just so you can have better sex, guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. Right. If you did it just for that reason, nothing wrong with that. The side effects is that, well, you're going to have a better body functions, but I'm just saying, we got to stop allowing other people to tell us about ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, you hit the nail on the head, man, right there, man. Other people who tell you about yourself, and they have been doing this from the beginning of time. You think they're going to tell you the truth? People who want to conquer you, people who want to live above you, people who want you to be their slaves, people who want you working for them. You think they're going to tell you the truth? No, they're not. So you have to find out who you are and go with it. And lastly, I'm going to say, for the people who already had the shot, more power to you. You felt, and is this listen, you felt that was best for you. And I can understand that, and I have no ill will towards you. And the biggest thing is you had a choice. The biggest thing is you had a choice, and that was your choice. And I and whomever like me have a choice too, and we just choose not to. And it's just all it is. We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree, so we can just stay neutral on that. And I'm not going to say anything ill will against you. And, I hope you understand my position. But my position is going to be this. My position is going to be this until the day I leave this earth. I am not letting the government or anybody else shoot me with anything. I couldn't live with myself if they do. So, pick your poison. I can't live with myself if I do that because I have studied too much. I know too much about myself. So, and that's just all it is. I don't knock anybody, Joe John, for doing what they felt was good for them and their family. More power to you.
I knock you. I knock all y'all. Look, even my own pops, went and took the jab. You know what I mean? He's someone that believes in the power of the mind, this, that, and the other. Maybe we'll have him on the show and get him to explain himself. But
that'd be cool.
Everybody, yeah, you're right. Everybody has their pathway. I don't agree with him taking the shot. But he did. So it is what it is.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm definitely looking forward to is like I was saying when I did that video about those doctors and those individuals who was during the Tuskegee experiment, the black doctors who were convincing black people. I would love to know where they are now and what do they feel about that situation, knowing the outcome turned out the way it did. I know this is that in the next few years, when this shows up to be the biggest scandal, not only U.S. history, but world history, and it really started backfiring, definitely I'm going to want to reach out to those who were all 100% for it, because I have to understand the mindset of individuals and how easy they were to accept the concept. I just would want to know this. How do you feel now? And what do you think? Do you still wish, do you now wish you had not been so easy in taking the vaccine? I just want to know, because it's coming. You mentioned something about choose your poison. Those of us who think we're not taking the shot, or those of us who are not taking the shot, they think we're wrong. Those of us who are not taking the shot think those who took the shot are wrong. So choose your poison. I'd rather choose this poison here and not take the shot and take my chances and see what happens. And we'll find out at the end who's the winner, who's on the right side of history when this comes to an end. And I feel like I'm on the right side of history. I don't want to be the one on the other end of that phone call when you see that commercial that says, dial 1-800 number. Did you take the shot 2 years ago?
You could join that malpractice lawsuit.
Yeah. But
your face is inside out and your arm is cut off and you're missing a leg and this, that, and the other. What kind of life you gonna have now?
Yeah, please call this number. We can help you. I don't want to be on the other end of that call. So I take these chances, and I believe in my body. I believe in the healing of the earth, and I believe that the universe will take care of me if I just pay attention and stay grounded. That's it. Anyway, fellas, I gotta roll out, man. I gotta get up to Cincinnati and visit some of my clients or my account. I like to call it checking my traps.
There you go. All right, y'all.
Appreciate you. Great show.
I'm out of here.
All right.
Appreciate y'all. Love you.
Love y'all, bro.
Peace and be well.
All right now.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.